Hi everyone, we are back for another episode again. We're going to be discussing all of this week's biggest news, including Aston Villa making their way to the Champions League, Tottenham losing to Man City, and is Giroud overrated? Plus much more. But we're going to start by talking to you, Henry, because you made your way to the Wolves press box this weekend.
I did. I was at Wolves versus Crystal Palace. Very good game, 3-1 to Palace. Very good experience. It was actually my first press box experience. I was delighted to actually get a Premier League game. The food was brilliant. The experience was brilliant. Overall, it was, honestly, brilliant. I don't know how else to describe it to us boys, but I just really loved it.
You can clearly tell he's buzzing, and you can't blame him. Free Premier League game, you can't say no, can you?
Yeah, I know. Getting to do the post-match press conferences with the Palace manager, the Wolves manager.
Did you ask any questions?
I didn't. I put my hand up, but as it was my turn to ask a question, the press conference ended.
Okay, which manager was that?
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
Both times.
Didn't pick on the student then, eh?
I know. I was gonna ask about Adam Wharton, if his involvement in the England squad, what Palace manager for that. I was going to ask Gary O'Neill about Cunha's impact, but unfortunately I didn't get to. But overall, the experience was.
Of course, we talked about Adam Wharton last week, weren't we?
We were, yes. I thought maybe he's heard of the degree of footing. He's sort of the topic.
Glasner has tuned in.
Yeah,
he knows his stuff.
100%. Mate, you talked about the food. Was it good?
Oh, lovely roast dinner, some roast chicken, some broccoli, some carrots. Beef and onion pie at half time. Oh, boys.
Can't complain.
Honestly.
Mate, he went in, did he? All right, love, how you doing?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
What gravy you got?
Yeah. Well, we do a very nice cottage pie with vegetables. Oh, no, that's too posh for me. just a bit of grub will do.
I thought the bullying would stop once we come on the podcast, but no.
He was expecting a Greg's in the press box.
Yeah. He brought one with him prepared, didn't he? He's happy as Larry. But let's actually get on with the episode. And sorry to interrupt you there, but let's talk about then Aston Villa, who have now officially progressed to the Champions League. What an incredible achievement!
What an achievement! I mean, before the season, did you guys expect them to get in the top four?
Not at all.
No, it wasn't
No
even.
chance.
I think I put them mid-table.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But I mean, Unai Emery, for me, manager of the year, getting that Villa team into Europe and getting to a European semi-final as well. What a season! What a season!
Who do you think has been their key player to? Well, there's a lot, but who do you think their key player is to making it happen?
I feel like it's a boring shout, but it has to be Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the goals and the assists look very good, but it's his all-round play. He's just involved in everything. The defending starts from the front, the pressing. But it's like every time they score it, he seems to one way be involved, whether that's making a run off the ball. And he's obviously going to get called up to the England squad. But for me, Ollie Watkins, I'm not sure about you guys.
Well, for me, I think Douglas Luiz has had a huge impact, got a lot of goals, got a lot of assists, and also he's adapted to that role that a lot of CDMs are playing this season. Rodri, Rice, he's been a key part for their project. But there's so much to pick from, they have been incredible. I think Diaby's been good, Bailey's been good.
John McGinn's been
incredible.
Pau Torres has been exceptional.
Zaniolo.
The whole squad has been quite good, let's be honest, hasn't it?
Zaniolo, you're not serious, are you?
No, of course I'm joking. No.
Say.
Well, I was, but let's just pretend I was joking. No, it certainly is an incredible achievement. And Emery, there we go.
Right.
He was the Arsenal
Different
manager,
Spanish
so I'm
manager.
half right. But yeah, no, he's done a very good job, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it seems that he didn't do well at Arsenal. He didn't do that well at PSG. But kind of the middling clubs like Villarreal, Seville, and Aston Villa, he's just done such a good job. And to think they're fighting relegation when he came in, and now they're playing in the Champions League. I mean, that is crazy. What an achievement.
Yeah, absolutely exceptional from Emery, and I'll be shocked if he didn't win manager of the season. What an achievement, and the squad is now so good, and I think they will tackle Champions League football very well.
I also think the Liverpool game sums up Villa quite well. It's like 3-1, you're looking down and out, but the atmosphere at Villa Park was crazy. Come back in that game, I mean, fair play.
I do think, though, they'll have a similar effect to what Newcastle had, which is that they've had so much games this season, they've sort of burnt out a little bit. I don't know if you think that the same as well.
What, you think they've burnt out this season or they'll burn out next season?
Next season in the Champions League, do they have the same effect as Newcastle have?
I think it will, yeah. Because, I mean, those players have never played in the Champions League before. Well, some of them have, like Leon Bailey for Leverkusen maybe. But it is all going to be new to them, so I think they will struggle. But I think they'll do best than Newcastle in terms of league form next season again.
Yeah, I mean, they've done quite well in the Conference League this season. so they have had a taste of European football. So I think they'll do a good job. But like you said, I think it will be quite similar to Newcastle, and a lot of it will be down to who they bring in as well and who goes.
Well, let's talk about another candidate, potentially could be winning manager of the season, Pep Guardiola. A debate that's going round as well at the minute. I heard Gary Neville talking about it. If Pep Guardiola wins this Premier League with Man City again, is he the best manager of all time in the Prem, overtaking perhaps Sir Alex?
For me, yes. I've always said Sir Alex, but no one's won the Premier League 4 in a row. He's also done the treble, which is Sir Alex has done. I know Sir Alex has got more Premier Leagues, but for me, Pep Guardiola, the way he's changed football, I think he's a better manager.
Mate, you say that so confidently, like it's clear.
I know. For me, it's so tight. I'll be honest. I don't really know who to pick.
Well, for a long time, I always said Sir Alex, but no manager's, like I said, no manager's done 4 in a row. That's such a huge achievement. He's done the treble, 100 points. How many more things can he do before he's the best manager?
I understand that, but I just don't think Sir Alex Ferguson's can be topped. Just the consistency that he had as a manager, and also what he did to the team. The whole team just performed, and
it's like half the team was academy boys as well.
Yeah,
it's not like he spent them. I know it's a different age in football, which is a fair argument, but Guardiola, let's face it, he spent millions of pounds. Ferguson, United always had a lot of money in the coffers, but I feel like he promoted the academy as well, which, I mean, let's be honest, Pep hasn't really done except Phil Foden. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess one of the main arguments would be is that everywhere Pep's gone, he's had money. He's had like a super team: Bayern Munich, Barcelona, City. Whereas Sir Alex went and did it with Aberdeen.
Yeah.
So I guess that is that argument. But for me, I think Pep Guardiola, the way he's changed football, the way he plays football, the way he dominates, I would pick him.
I also think it shows that, for me, I think Sir Alex is the best, because as soon as he left Manchester United, I mean, we've talked about them enough, so I don't want to go into detail, but they've fallen off a cliff. I think when Guardiola leaves, he's like, City is still going to have these amazing players. It's like in his last season at United, he had what was it, Valencia, Javier Hernandez, players like that, and they won a Premier League. So for me, it's the man management by Alex Ferguson just way above.
Yeah, the achievements that he had with the money, that comparison. I mean, how much has City spent? Over £1 billion and
probably, yeah,
on players. I mean,
yeah.
if you look at that, I think that you've got to think that. I think Sir Alex. I mean, obviously it was a very different game back then.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that what that Man United team was, like you said, we now see how crap United are to what they were before. It's just incredible to watch.
Yeah, I completely agree.
You just said Pep's better.
Completely disagree.
I think it's
Sorry,
ultimately it comes round to, though, it's two completely different ages in football.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult. But for me, Sir Alex Ferguson just edges it.
I mean, obviously Gary Neville's got a bit more credibility considering he was in that squad. But I think, for me, it's got to be Sir Alex.
It's a good debate, and unfortunately, it's one we will never know the answer to, really.
Well, that is what a debate is, mate.
Well, you know what I mean. Different eras, like you said, Murray.
That's what an opinion is, eh?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the playoffs then, because it's getting very tight. 2 very boring games: Leeds and Norwich, Southampton, West Brom, both 0-0ers. Arguably, West Brom a bit more entertaining game than Leeds and Norwich. What did we think?
Well, I think it's a massive missed opportunity for West Brom and Norwich, because they're the 2 underdogs in the playoffs, and obviously they have the first leg at home. And to not even score a goal from both teams, I think, is quite poor. So for me, it's looking quite positive for Leeds and Southampton. But I mean, the playoff semi-final was always hyped up in the media. I saw on Twitter everyone was like 2 games in a day. I'm going to sit down on the sofa. And I mean, 2 atrocious games, let's be honest.
Imagine going to the game.
You actually?
What? I said imagine going to the game.
I thought you said you were going.
I thought you said I'm going to.
No, I said imagine going to the game.
I think you said I'm actually going to the game.
No, I won't waste my time. Up the Reds. I'm joking. Who do we think will go to Wembley?
I think Southampton and Leeds.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, the way they both played last time, anything can happen. I mean, we'll see.
And Leeds recently, I mean, you've mentioned this in previous podcasts, but the form is just curtailed at the end of the season.
Yeah, they completely fell off a cliff.
They should have gone up to the Prem, but they didn't. Can Farker get Leeds up?
We'll find out.
Yeah, I suppose we will.
I think Southampton will go up if I had to pick now.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think so. I think, as much as I really want Leeds to go up, I don't think Leeds will go up.
Yeah.
I think, like you say, Southampton will go up, which for me is a real shame. Leeds are so interesting in the Premier League. Southampton's a bit boring.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there, but yeah.
I think Southampton will go up, and I think Leeds will dominate the Championship next season.
Yeah,
That'd be
Leeds will
my
go up next
early
season if they don't
prediction.
go up, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about then Tottenham, because they played Manchester City yesterday. Son one-on-one with Ortega, who pulled out probably one of the saves of Man City's Premier League season. Do we think that Tottenham fans wanting City to lose, Tottenham to lose, so City can win the Premier League over Arsenal? What do we think to that?
It's so embarrassing. I'm sorry, it is so embarrassing. That's all I want to say about it. It is so embarrassing from Spurs fans. It's also when City took the lead, you saw some of the Spurs fans in some section like doing the Poznan, like celebrating. I mean, come on. I mean, obviously they don't want Arsenal to win the league, but also surely you want your team to get into the Champions League, like playing against the best teams in Europe, earning more money. I thought it was embarrassing.
No, I completely agree. I mean, why don't you want your team in the Champions League? I mean, surely that's the ultimate goal. If you're not going to win the Premier, you get Champions League football, don't you? Like, I mean, no one really. We watched Liverpool play Europa League football this season, and there's such a big difference between a Champions League night and Europa League night.
It's like playing Sparta Prague instead of Inter Milan.
Oh, there is a big difference. I'll agree with that. The feeling is very different.
Yeah, it's just there's no ambition. I feel very sorry for Ange Postecoglou, who's he's a winner, and he hasn't got the squad or the fan base at the minute who want to win. They're more focused on their rivals not doing well, which is not a good ambitious point.
But I think that shows where Tottenham are as a club. It's like they've been so like they've just been in the middle of the pack for so long. They've got nothing to celebrate. So they're just concentrating on Arsenal, who are finally on the up again.
Look, to be honest with you, I just find it very funny. I mean, did you see how many seats were available the day before Tottenham v Man City?
No.
Oh, there was like the pink chairs that were available on the map was so funny. With so many free.
Should have gone.
Yeah, sure, we should have done.
Little trip down to London.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I won't waste my time. But no, I find it really funny, because I think, look, the fans are probably thinking, how many seasons have the bloody fans had to put up with the poor seasons Tottenham have?
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably just bored to death of it, and they know they're not going to do well in the Champions League. They know that if they make it to the Europa League, they got a bit more of a chance. I just think they don't even bothered about the Champions League because they know they're just going to get kicked out of the bloody thing. So I'd much rather, I do not want Arsenal winning the league. So if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be like, do you know what? Don't want Arsenal. I know we're not going to get top four. I know we're not going to get Champions League. So, and even if we did want to do well, so I don't want Arteta winning. I think it's.
I think that's poor. I think what's the point of playing football if you're not going out to win the game?
Yeah, but it's realism, isn't it? And also, they didn't. If they won that game, it wasn't they were in the top four. It just helped them get a step closer to the top four.
Yeah.
But put it in this perspective, God, if it was Manchester United and Liverpool in that position, would you want Liverpool? Would you want Liverpool to lose so Man United couldn't win the league? I'd want Liverpool to win all the time.
No, because Liverpool are actually a good team compared to Tottenham.
That's a very good point. But
are you saying if Liverpool was Tottenham?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I understand that side of things maybe, but it's different because I'm a Liverpool fan. I can't really relate to what I'd be feeling as a Tottenham fan. But I just think, I mean, they're an embarrassing fan base anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I do feel bad for Ange. I do agree with you on that. He's obviously very annoyed about it, and I bet even from what I picked up from his press conference, a lot of his players probably think the same things as what the fans do. I don't know if you thought that.
Yeah, I think he was saying as well that.
Inside and outside.
It was like inside and outside the club. It's very fragile at Spurs. It's like nothing's always happy, nothing's always bad. Yeah. It's just like, not a good place to work by the sounds of it, to be honest.
No, they've had good managers, Conte, Mourinho, who've come in and said similar things about the club. Conte went on that massive rant, I think, when they lost to Southampton. Yeah. So there's something wrong there, and I think Postecoglou's now discovering it.
Yeah, I think going back to that Mourinho in a press conference said, I've got like contacts with all the clubs I've worked at. Like I keep in touch with people. Except he went Mr. Levy's Spurs. Like he doesn't have anything to do with Spurs anymore, and he doesn't want to.
No. Well, I'm actually bold about speaking with Tottenham for one day, so let's move on.
That's probably only been 5 minutes, but it's more than enough for the rest of the year.
Thank God they're over with. Let's talk about Bournemouth, who have extended Iraola's contract. Is it Iraola?
It's Andoni Iraola.
Iraola.
Yeah.
Well, he's extended his contract to. Oh, I've just banged my knee. He's extended his contract till 2026, hasn't he?
Yeah, smart deal, I think, because Bournemouth have already got their record points tally in the Premier League. So why not sign him up to a longer deal? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, there were questions asked when Gary O'Neill got sacked because he actually did really well when Scott Parker was sacked. But yeah, Iraola's come in, done a magnificent job.
He had a poor start, didn't he? Though I think he was winless in his first 7, but since then they've been on a good roll.
Yeah, I think they're mid-table, which for Bournemouth is a very decent finish.
I think they're 11th, to be fair. So.
I mean, that's a fantastic finish in your first season in a job. It's brilliant. What do you think, Harvey?
Did he join late? Didn't he? A little bit late.
No. Joined to start the season.
Oh, did he? Well, they were. A lot of people predicted them to go down, relegated. They're actually a really exciting team to watch. And
they play good football, don't they?
Yeah, Solanke's been key in it all. He's been fantastic. And even Sinistera's been really good. Semenyo's been fantastic.
Sinistera?
Yeah.
Come on. Bit kind,
isn't it? No, he's been good.
He's been interested. He's been injured for most of the season.
No, he's been good. Yeah. I like him. And don't Newcastle want Lloyd Kelly?
Yeah, I think it's a free transfer though.
Yeah,
he's leaving him on free.
It'll be something to do because Eddie Howe's worked with him before.
Yeah, well, it's irrelevant.
And he'll come in as like a third, fourth choice.
I think he's done an incredible job. We don't have to talk about. Everybody shares the same opinion of how well he's done. And is it true they've got the noisiest ground in the Premier League? I've heard.
Really? I'm not sure. Yeah.
Somebody took like a noise thermometer in the grounds and. Bournemouth is the loudest one.
I mean, the only reason that could be is because it's a small ground and it's like they're closer to the pitch because it's only about 11,000. I think it's
quite
one
small.
of the smallest with Luton. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that at all.
Yeah, it does need some upgrades, that stadium, because it's not, in all due respect, it's not a Premier League stadium, is it?
It's actually a nice stadium, but it's just small. Yeah. That's the only thing.
Is the food not to your standard?
Say that again, sorry?
Is the food not to your standard?
No, it wouldn't be.
They don't have a chicken Balti pie.
Yeah. Chicken Balti pie? What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you get a chicken Balti pie from?
Football grounds. God, have you ever been to a football game?
You can get chicken Balti pie.
Let's turn this on you. This is.
Yeah, you can get steak and ale. You can get.
I know you do that. I didn't know you could get a chicken Balti pie.
Meat and potato, a veg pie. Not
sure. I have never heard of a chicken Balti pie. And trust me, I'm straight to the bar to get some food. Not a pint. They're bloody expensive. You've got to get pissed, don't you?
Whatever you do at football matches, mate.
I'm seeing lines on the pitch. I'm not even watching the game.
He doesn't even make it to the pitch. they don't let him in. They're like,
stumbling in the concourse.
Right, whatever. Well, let's then talk about Darwin Nunez, because a few links he will leave the club this summer. I'm small speaking to you, Henry. Do you think Darwin should bugger off?
No, straight up no. He actually, I think he won some form of Player of the Season award today. He was awarded. So I don't get this abuse for him. I know he's not clinical enough. I know he needs to get better at shooting, but I want to see him under Arne Slot. I want to see if he improves. I want to see if we can build a team around it, because there's a good player there. We saw that at Benfica. We've seen it at his previous clubs. So I wouldn't give up on him. And I know he's been getting a lot of stick from Liverpool fans, and he's had that stint on social media where he's deleted all his Liverpool things. But I think we need to give him a chance and get behind him. I don't know what you boys think about him.
Go on, Harvey. I'll let you have your say.
I think there's a player there. There is a player there, and how many times have you heard Gary Neville banging on about, I'd be really scared to play against him and blah blah blah, right? Look, he has got a lot of things to work on. His shooting. Do you remember that game? I can't remember where he went past the keeper. He did everything right. Went past the keeper and hit the post.
Yeah.
It was in Europa League, I think.
I can't remember the game, but I remember.
You remember what I'm on about? Yeah. Like he needs to work on his shooting, because he can shoot from a distance, but when he's up close to the net, oh my god! And he needs to stop running offside. Oh my god!
He just doesn't have any composure in front of goal.
No, he just bloody always offside. But there's a player there. He's pacey. He's strong. He is skillful on the ball. We've seen him go round players. He can shoot, but he needs to work on it. There is a player there, and I'd love to see him at the club next season, because he's something very different to normal strikers in the league, and I think he's brilliant.
You think he's brilliant?
Yeah,
brilliant for the future.
I really like it. I think he'll be really good for Liverpool if he stays.
Yeah, I think it'd be odd if he left as well, because I'm not sure where he'd go to. Because people would say go to La Liga or Serie A. It's like there's not actually many chances there, so he's probably going to be less prolific. Like in the Premier League, it's so end to end and high intensity, which, to be fair, I think it suits him quite well, because he's quite a hectic player and he's physical, he's quick. So definitely he's one for the future. But I mean, I don't even know his best position at this point. Is it striker? Is it on the wing? I don't know.
No, it's not on the wing.
But then when he's striker, I just don't think he offers enough.
I think it probably is striker, because I mean, he can. I know he hasn't been great this season, but he can finish. He did really well at Benfica scoring. He just needs to be able to finish more. Do you know, he's scored a good amount of goals, but it's not enough.
It's not even the finishing though. It's like the hold-up play. He's very clumsy on the ball. The ball always bounces off him, I think. And as a striker, I want someone where the ball sticks to you. You can play to your Salahs and your Luis Diaz's, and I just don't think he does that.
It's almost a bit like I'm not comparing the two here, but you know how Haaland's build-up play has been criticised. They've almost got similar build-up plays, but Haaland can finish, whereas Darwin Nunez isn't finishing enough. So if he finishes enough, you know, we could have a very, very good striker there.
Yeah, definitely. He can be good, but a lot of work's got to go in it. And let's see what Arne Slot can produce.
I did see something today. It was like top 5 leagues worst XG underperformance, and if he was finishing the chances like as he should be, he should have an extra 7 Premier League goals. So hopefully, if he becomes more clinical then next season, then he'll be in the 20 Premier League goals bracket. So.
Yeah, I mean, he is still scoring. It's not like he's not scoring. It's not like we're waiting for his first goal.
Yeah.
He's scoring, he's getting assists, but not consistently.
Yeah. I agree.
Now, Henry, talk about your outrageous statement that you said to us both earlier. I couldn't believe what you said.
So I've got this opinion, right? And, you know, I saw in the news the other day that Olivier Giroud has moved to LAFC. Now, I believe that Olivier Giroud wasn't a world-class elite striker.
I mean, that's
talking
about stinky opinions. That's one right there. Oh my goodness,
mate, that's the worst thing you've ever said.
It is absolutely.
I truly believe he was never one of the best strikers in the world.
What?
That's how I would feel. I'd put him in the category of like Peter Crouch, Emil Heskey. That
What?
type of striker.
You're taking
I'm being serious.
You're taking the mick with that because that's stupid.
I'm being serious.
Mate, you're taking the piss.
You are.
When has Olivier Giroud ever been the best striker in the league? Never.
No, you don't have to be the best striker in the league to be world class because there's always going to be someone better than you.
But I thought he was a very good striker. I never thought he was one of the best strikers in the world.
But Peter Crouch.
Yeah,
I mean, he's one of.
I'd put him in that category.
Has Peter Crouch and Emil Heskey won a bloody World Cup? Have they?
No. But
I know he didn't score in that World Cup, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, mate, don't mention that.
We'll gloss over that.
I never was amazed by it. I know he scored amazing goals, but I never thought you are 30 goals a season.
He always hits double figures in the league, though.
Yeah,
always.
Consistent in every league he's played for.
It's like where he started his career at Montpellier in 2011-12. He inspired them to a league title. Montpellier. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Then he did well at Arsenal and Chelsea. Ultimately at Chelsea, he was a bit of a squad player at both, but he always hit double figures, always had goals in him, and he's France's all-time top goal scorer, and he's not world class. I mean,
I don't think he's world class.
Take a break, mate.
I've heard it all. Mate.
I'm sorry. I was never amazed with it. I've never put him in the
How
category.
the hell you come in that AC Milan kit and say that Olivier Giroud isn't world class? Mate, he's a legend of the game.
At least he came in a football kit.
Yeah, right, okay. Look, my kit is in the wash. I've left all my kits at home because we're at uni, so let me off.
Well, I went home and brought them all back up.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yeah, good for me. You should have done the same.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the money. Student finance hadn't come in.
Oh, well,
it is a struggle, isn't it?
I had my savings, but we won't go into that. But, mate,
I'm standing by it.
A 35-year-old Giroud carrying AC Milan to the Scudetto.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I suppose Ibrahimovic is rubbish.
Oh, no.
Benzema's rubbish.
No, for me, they're a level above Giroud. I never thought Giroud was ever the best striker in the league. I never thought he was world class. I thought he was a very good striker who had his moments, but for me, he wasn't world class.
Let's just change the conversation for.
It's probably because he doesn't have a good enough FIFA card for it.
He did have 39
Mate, he's
pace.
not a kid.
So.
I don't play FIFA. No, I'm joking. It's not. I mean, you got Girth and Turf at the minute, don't you? Girth and Turf.
I'm not personally involved, but
no.
Well,
I'd be surprised if you were. You're kicking ball with Wayne Rooney. Yeah, don't start that. We had a comment. I thought, what the hell's that all about? Then you had to
sound geezer as well.
Yeah.
Sound geezer.
You don't have a clue what he's already done on TikTok.
I'll show you later.
I'm so confused what's going on right
now.
Yeah. They'll get it.
Yeah, they'll get it. Big up Andrex. Big up
KFC.
Did KFC do it?
KFC
Even Curry's TC Wilder on it. He's still a foreign language to him. Right, then What about the Champions League format next season? Why the hell are they touching it? Leave it alone.
Oh, why do we want a league table? The only reason they've done it though is because every team that competes gets an extra 2 games, so it's an extra bit of money, obviously. But I mean, I like the group stage and then it's straight out into the knockouts. I mean, we've had so many good moments in the Champions League recently. Even in the group stage is quite exciting. Just absolute load of old bollocks, if you ask me.
No. I mean, it comes back to the old saying: if it's not broke, don't fix it. There's nothing wrong with the current format, is there?
What if it's not what?
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Mate, why are you whipping out all these sayings?
That's a good saying. That's a good saying.
But last week it went, the grass ain't always green.
Yeah, these are common. It's not I'm coming out of gibberish. These are genuine sayings.
Great philosopher here. The one that I once said.
Peter Drury is my inspiration. Yeah, no, I don't understand the new format. It wasn't needed at all. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure on the new format. I've seen their explainer on it. It doesn't make sense. Why? Just keep the current one. There's no problems with it at all.
It's just to counter the Super League, isn't it? Because the Super League was threatening UEFA, like taking over the Champions League. So UEFA said, you know what, we'll backtrack a bit. We'll get some more of the big teams in Europe, play more games, and that's why they've done it.
What I don't like is the top 8 go through, don't they, to the knockout rounds. What I don't like is if you're below the bottom 8, you sort of lose all, like, you know, what's the point in playing sort of thing.
I don't understand as well. It's like the top team, obviously no one, so it's one league table, but they've not all played each other. So it makes no sense. It's done on rankings, but rankings like, you know, are they going to rank Arsenal?
You're still drawing pots, aren't you? Random opponents that you're going to play. So it's still the group stage in a way, but in a league table format. I just think it's stupid.
Imagine if Aston Villa suddenly get like Real Madrid, Inter, like PSG, all the big clubs in the same, and they fit. It's like it's unfair. I think.
And how does it work? Because you know how the third place team will go into the Europa League.
Yes,
How does that work now? Is there like a certain league position?
There is an explanation on it, but I don't.
Yeah, because then it's like the next group will have like a playoff with. It all gets a bit.
It's not needed. It's not needed, is it? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that brings us to the end of another episode. In this week, we've discussed Aston Villa getting promoted. They're in the Premier League. We talked about them getting into the Champions League. There we go. He's saying that Olivier Giroud is overrated, which is quite
outrageous.
Yeah, outrageous. Thank you, mate. And Reading are crap. So join us next week. We'll be talking more of England's top news and stories. See you later.